Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. The return of Boo Boo. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Now, I haven't really heard or seen anyone talk about this, but Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade will return. And he's going to Germany to challenge for the WBA champion, Jack Kukale. I think I pronounced his name accurate. And that's in Germany, once again, 154 pounds, March 11th. And I haven't really heard anyone talk about this particular fight. I want to give my quick bid and my 2 cents. I think this is a good step in the right direction for Demetrius Andrade. He really, after dealing with promotional issues, lawsuits, he sued Rock Nation. He had a fight with Charlo, one of the Charlos, and it was supposed to be on Amir Khan versus Devin Alexander, a Showtime card way back when, and that fight fell through. Him and his team felt they were getting lowballed. Plus, why go? They had fights on HBO at that time. Why go over to a new network and face the hometown fighter? And if it goes a decision for some reason, then they're gonna always give it to the network's fighter. That's plus for low money. It just wasn't making sense, I guess, to the Andrade team. But that was some time ago, and he had a long dry spell with no fights at all. He has since come back. He fought my dude Willie Nelson, and I thought he looked spectacular in that fight. Willie Nelson, a power puncher, a guy with an amateur background, a guy who's very tall. Met Willie Nelson several occasions. He's legit like 6'3". So Andrade's maybe 6 foot, 6'1". I met him, watched him spar also. Shout out to Kareem Mayfield, Troy King. They were the ones that sparred him that particular session. And I thought Boo Boo looked good in the fight with Willie Nelson, and he ended up stopping him. So it made it even more emphatic. It was a dominant performance, but in the 12th round, he ended up stopping him. And it was a good performance. So I think he needs to build off of that. You got a Showtime fight. You look good in that fight, ring rust or not. And now you have to build on that. So fighting Jack Kukale in Germany, finally. This was a fight that was actually supposed to happen in 2016, which I would have preferred because that would have been 2 in the books. Maybe he might have had a tune-up too, but that would have been 2 or 3 fights in 2016 alone for Boo Boo. I think he only fought one time in 2016 and once in 2015 off the top of my head. So if he fought Jack Kukale in 2016, then he would have been able to have 2 in the books and then kind of go towards the bigger names. Canelo left the division. Obviously, I don't think Canelo and team wanted to fight Andrade anyway because they had many opportunities to. And it's funny too because Team Canelo, they say like, oh, Canelo's moving up past Golovkin's weight of 160 to 164.5 for Chavez Jr., a guy with no amateur background, a guy who has been considered one of boxing's disappointments, if you will, and they're willing to do that because allegedly Chavez Jr. talks too much and he's offended Canelo. But why didn't you put your foot down when Demetrius Andrade, a guy with an amateur background, a guy who represented the USA with the Olympics and looked spectacular in his last fight, right, versus Chavez Jr., he went to decision with Dominic Britch. Demetrius Andrade fought a taller, bigger guy on a layoff and stopped him, you know what I mean, with the name. A guy who's been in there, went the distance with Vanes Matarosen, and that's Willie Nelson again. So it's funny that Team Canelo seems to pick and choose, if you will, when the person like who's attacking them or going at the throne, if you will, is worth the fight, right? Demetrius Andrade outright called you a bitch. I think it was on the Boxing Voices channel. They have the interview. Shout out to my dude Ness for that. And it just doesn't make sense that video, go look at it. It went pretty viral and a lot of people viewed it and stuff. So why didn't you respond to Demetrius Andrade? So clearly, I don't think Golden Boy Team Canelo was paying any attention to Demetrius Andrade. They were probably behind the scenes, but publicly they act like he doesn't exist. So in order to make that mark, then I think Andrade has to just keep fighting because fighters like Guillermo Rigondeaux, Errol Spence Jr., and Demetrius Andrade, and Luis King Kong Ortiz, I would say, they share something similar. And that's they're feared, they're avoided, and they're skilled. And I think majority, if not all those people I said, Rigondeaux, Spence, King Kong, and Boo Boo, another thing they have is they have power on top of the skill. And the other thing they have in common is that although they're very skilled, the politics and the powers that be in boxing, they haven't always had the best promotion. Golden Boy, when they had Luis King Kong Ortiz, never really did anything. I seen Golden Boy make more of a big deal about the 7-foot Chinese dude, Tashan Dong, and he looked garbage to me. You know what I mean? King Kong actually has real life skills. I don't even know if the Tashan Dong, or whatever his name is, even fights anymore. But Golden Boy felt the need to have that circus act because he's that big and he's Asian or whatever the situation is. And they actually gave him some level of publicity, like, oh, look how big this guy is. I mean, he's big, but can he scrap? Like, is he a world beater? Again, I haven't even seen any of his fights, and every time they put him in with someone, they look like Butterbean's like brother or something. They look horrible. Look like they weren't no heavyweights I know. Put him in with Amir Mansour or somebody that we know, right? Those fights shouldn't be hard to make. Amir Mansour's not going to be like, I want 13 million. You know what I'm saying? He was in jail. He's not going to request something crazy. But point being, all these fighters are going to have to go the hard way. They have to do more. You know what I'm saying? They have to try harder. And one thing that they've kind of all been plagued with, except for Errol Spence, I wouldn't really say him, but that inactivity bug. You have to slowly but surely strip away all the boxing politics and leave them with no choice but to fight you, and make it ever so clear that you're being avoided in your division. You know what I'm saying? And inactivity gives them a scapegoat. It gives these people and these promoters and these fighters an opportunity to duck. So to alleviate that, Rigondeaux, Errol Spence, King Kong, Boo Boo Andrade, they have to be active, because that strips away an excuse. And then you have to do that slowly but surely, start chipping away and stripping away all the excuses. Oh, he's not big name. Okay, then you work on your name and your brand. You know what I mean? Do more outspoken, you know what I mean, the Cannon Briggs approach, where people start to know you. Let's go, champ. I mean, Shannon Briggs talked himself into a title shot. Real, and I love it, right? Take away inactivity, because that's what they want to do. They want to use excuses. Oh, he doesn't sell enough. Oh, his name's not known. Oh, he's too inactive. No one knows him, right? So that's what you have to do, is just take away all these excuses so it's laid out on the table. They don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. They do not want to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. They do not want to fight Errol Spence Jr. And this is a good step. I hope Andrade fights beyond this. If he does win, he'll be a champion. I believe it's the WBA world belt. I don't know. I don't know if it's the regular. I don't know who has the regular WBA. It might be the regular WBA, but there's so many belts, it's hard to keep up. I want to see Demetrius Andrade get a big fight, a Charlo fight, Edeslani Lara fight. There's too much talent in the division for him not to be getting fights. And then once he cleans house at 154, move up, pursue Jamal Charlo, who I think is moving up to 160. Maybe you can fight the other brother, or Jamel Charlo versus Charles Hatley winner, something like that. Even a John Jackson in the meantime, just something like that. You know what I mean? Just to get some fights in the book and keep showcasing your skill and keep headlining events or co-featuring events or whatever. So I like this step from Team Andrade. You got to put all the bullshit aside that you went through promotionally and being on the sidelines, and just get back. I have seen Andrade more vocal lately, more on social media. I've seen him at a couple of fights. So these are all good things to help the Andrade brand. Let me know what you guys think. He will be fighting March 11th. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.